Medical is a healthcare technology company focused on building software solutions powered by deep learning that make medical imaging more efficient and better for patients. Medical imaging is both costly and inefficient. Scan volumes are increasing while reimbursement is declining. Many centers have outdated technology and limited funds to purchase new million-dollar machines. Others have limited capacity on their current scanners or now, with COVID-19, have to make even more time for additional cleaning protocols in between patients. Most importantly, imaging procedures are long and uncomfortable, which causes patients anxiety and discomfort. Subtle Medical provides intelligent solutions that tackle all of these concerns. Subtle's FDA-cleared software solutions, SubtlePET and SubtleMR, can be used to improve the quality of a center's accelerated imaging protocols. SubtlePET denoises images conducted in 1/4 the original scan time, while SubtleMR improves the image quality of a site's accelerated MR protocols using denoising and increased sharpness. The software works with any brand of scanner, PACS, or OEM. It's scalable across all scanner brands and is easy to deploy, requiring little to no change in the existing workflow. Accelerated protocols help centers to get patients in and out of the scanner faster, which reduces patient discomfort and results in a much better patient experience and increased patient satisfaction. With the ability to improve the quality of their accelerated imaging protocols, centers can accommodate more patients a day, increasing their throughput and profitability. Centers with outdated technology and limited funds don't have to go purchase new million-dollar machines anymore. Subtle's software is essentially a virtual upgrade that extends the life of the entire existing fleet of scanners. Subtle software integrates seamlessly in the radiology workflow. In a typical workflow, the image is sent from the scanner to PACS via DICOM. When Subtle software is deployed, the image is sent from the scanner to the Subtle cloud, where the images are enhanced in a matter of seconds. The enhanced images are then sent to PACS the same as in the normal workflow. All of Subtle's products are HIPAA compliant and PHI safe. Let's take a look at SubtlePET. A normal PET exam might take around 18 minutes. If you acquire that image in 4.5 minutes, you'll get a noisy image nearly impossible to diagnose. SubtlePET software uses deep learning to enhance that noisy image within seconds, producing a diagnostically equivalent image to the 18-minute scan, but acquired in 1/4 of the time. This results in a significant improvement in scanner throughput, workflow efficiency, and the patient experience, which patients consistently share in their patient questionnaires. SubtlePET works across all scanner brands and is compatible with all major radio tracers. Here's our head of clinical, Dr. Praveen Gulaka, to show some examples of SubtlePET's image enhancement capabilities.
The following examples demonstrate how SubtlePET effectively denoises low-count PET acquisitions acquired either from low-dose or faster PET scans. On the screen, the right viewport is the standard scan acquired with 2.5 minutes per bed acquisition. The top row are PET images reconstructed at 2 times faster, 3 times faster, and 4 times faster acquisitions, and the bottom row shows the SubtlePET enhancement results for the same. If I go a little lower, this patient had a lung nodule that is very clearly visible in all the reconstructions. But the important point is, as you go faster in the PET acquisitions, the noise in the PET images increases dramatically, and SubtlePET effectively denoises these images, and you can see the image quality is almost identical to that of the standard scan. This is the lung nodule I was referring to, and if you look at the image quality, it's almost identical to that of the standard scan. And here I drew a small region of interest to demonstrate that the SUV max values that are critical for nuclear medicine physicians, the SUV max values are almost identical to that of standard of care scan. Here the value is 10. In the SubtlePET reconstruction, the values are 9.9. Again, as you can see, in the top row, when we go for faster PET acquisitions, the image quality deteriorates as you go faster due to lower counts available for reconstruction. But after SubtlePET enhancement, the image quality SNR is improved, and the image quality is almost identical to that of the standard scan. This second example is a PET scan from a GE digital PET CT scanner. the Discovery MI. The image on the left is the standard scan with a 2-minute per bed acquisition. The image in the middle was reconstructed with 25% of the counts, simulating a 30 seconds per bed acquisition. The image on the right is the SubtlePET enhanced result of the 30 seconds per bed acquisition. From this you can see the SubtlePET result is equivalent to that of the standard scan, and as I scroll through you can appreciate that the lesion conspicuity is almost similar, and the image after processing with SubtlePET has much less noise.
Let's take a look at SubtleMR. SubtleMR is an FDA-cleared image processing software that enhances MRI images. It can be used to reduce image noise for the entire body, including but not limited to head, spine, neck, abdomen, pelvis, prostate, breast, and musculoskeletal regions of the body, and is also used to increase image sharpness for head MRI. Centers use SubtleMR to improve the quality of their accelerated MRI protocols, which allows them to maximize their workflow without compromising image quality. It's field strength agnostic and works with all major contrasts. It's also compatible with downstream quantitative and diagnostic applications. Here's Dr. Gulaka again to show us what sites have been able to accomplish with SubtleMR.
This example is a brain MRI scan performed with different pulse sequences. The image on the left is the routine scan. The one in the middle is an accelerated scan with lower resolution. The image on the right is the SubtleMR enhancement result of the middle image. You can clearly see resolution enhancement in the SubtleMR images. As I scroll through these slices, you can clearly visualize the tumor boundaries. The SubtleMR image is diagnostically equivalent to the image on the left, which is the routine protocol. This is the resolution enhancement example on a 2D axial T2 flare sequence. SubtleMR clearly improves the resolution of the images while depicting the tumor and the extent of the edema very well, as you can see here. This is an example of denoising on a post-gadolinium 3D T1 weighted sequence. The middle image here is acquired with no averages and therefore has high image noise. SubtleMR effectively denoises these images while depicting the enhancing tumor very well. In spine MRI, the main mode of SubtleMR enhancement is by denoising. Here is an example of a lumbar spine MRI exam looking at degenerative disc disease using different pulse sequences. You can appreciate that the SubtleMR images on the right are clearly denoised while maintaining the sharpness. As I scroll through the slices, you can distinctly visualize the neural foramina, the facet joints, and the degenerated vertebral discs. The image quality is equal to or better than that of the routine protocol. This is an axial T2 weighted scan of the L spine. The SNR of the SubtleMR is greatly improved and you don't see so much noise that is especially present in the vertebral bodies here. Also in the SubtleMR images, the nerve fibers are better visualized when compared to that of the routine scan, where they appear to be slightly blurred. And as I scroll through these images, you can appreciate the SNR enhancement as well as the sharpness and the crispness of the nerve fibers.
Let's take a look at some of Subtle Medical's up-and-coming software innovations, beginning with SubtleSynth. To share more about our robust product pipeline, here is Subtle Medical's Chief Product Officer, Ajit Shankaranarayanan.
As we are moving towards a new generations of current commercial products, namely SubtlePET and SubtleMR, the team is also working very hard to put together a very innovative product pipeline that provides comprehensive workflow solutions across all the different modalities as seen in this sheet. One of the first applications which I would like to talk about is called as SubtleSynth. SubtleSynth uses deep learning technology to synthesize new MR contrast from existing imaging contrast. One of our first applications is to the spine clinical area, where it uses the acquired T1 and T2 contrast to synthesize a stir-like contrast. An example of that is shown on the right. This is what we call as 100% acceleration technique. It also provides higher image quality since it uses high SNR T1 and T2 images as input. This is an example in a pathology scenario. The left-hand image was acquired using a stir sequence in about 4 minutes. The right-hand image was synthesized using acquired T1 and T2 contrast. The pathology depiction on both the sets of images are very similar, while the image quality on the right-hand image is much superior to the left-hand image. We are also expanding this technology to the clinical area as seen in this image. The next application which I would like to talk about is called as SubtleQC. SubtleQC uses deep learning AI to measure and quantify image quality, completeness of protocols, and ensuring organ coverage in real time. One of the examples of detection of image quality is shown on the right. It helps reduce the disruptive MD check phone calls like having a virtual fellow. It also enables more consistent and robust exams across multiple sites while helping to monitor and improving quality across the enterprise. The next two applications I will be focusing on is on the dose reduction side, whether it is MR or X-ray. SubtleGAD uses deep learning AI to synthesize post-contrast MR enhanced images from the lower dose contrast images. An example of that is shown on the right. Such a technology can help reduce the contrast dosage up to 90%, which can help with the patient experience and also expand the applicability of the contrast procedure to patients previously not able to access. We are partnering with our close collaborators, Bayer, to bring this product into market. We have also worked really hard to generalize this deep learning model across the various vendors and various field strengths. Contrast dosage reduction is also environmentally safe, as there have been recent publications of the increasing use of gadolinium-based contrast agents in leading to widespread contamination of fresh water and drinking water systems. SubtleIR uses deep learning AI to improve the IQ of low-dose fluoroscopy images. Such a technology can help with up to 4 times dose reduction while maintaining the image quality from spatial resolution perspective as well as temporal resolution. The algorithm was optimized to perform the compute in real time, 30 frames per second. An example of this is shown on the right, where you can see the image quality for the full dose image is very, very comparable to the 4 times dose reduced image with the DL applied to that. Thank you very much.
Let's hear what customers have to say about Subtle Medical's technology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kathy Keller. I'm the president of Lake Medical Imaging here in Central Florida. I've been here for 35 years now, so it's a long time. I first found out about Subtle Medical when I was attending the RSNA at their AI showcase and was intrigued what could they do that made MR faster but still decent image quality. And I thought, well, this might be good for Lake Medical Imaging because we're growing so fast. After COVID, with the changes and all the lockdowns, we had a huge backlog of patients that needed to get their imaging done. And there just wasn't any way that we could manage that volume and continue to give the kind of patient care and time and attention that we wanted. So that was a huge impetus for us to get involved with Subtle. With Subtle, we were able to decrease the table time, so it was easier for the patient to hold still for a shorter period of time. Many fewer repeat scans. Better to stay on schedule and get through the day faster. Less tech overtime. Most important, though, that we were able to maintain our patient-centered approach. Our throughput really increased tremendously because of the speed. We're doing about 7 more patients a day on the 3T scanner and 4 to 5 more patients a day on the other 7 scanners. So between all of our scanners, we're doing about 38 to 40 more patients a day. That's the same as having another MR magnet without having to purchase it. An MR costs what? More than $1 million. The service contract a year, more than $100,000, and then you need more tech. So to pay the small amount of money for the Subtle service has greatly increased our capacity. So our backlog in scheduling has gone down to almost nothing. Patients are happier when they get their problem solved sooner. Our referring doctor population is happier because we're able to take care of their patients sooner. And of course, I'm happier because the techs are doing fine, the patients are happy, and I'm not behind schedule. We found that especially for prostate imaging, it cut a lot of time and also abdominal, and so that was very helpful. So with everything, we ended up using it on, I think, just about every protocol here. At Lake Medical Imaging, we have 8 different MR scanners. One is 3T and the rest are 1.5. And because we've been in business for a long time, they vary in vintage. It was important for me in partnering with Subtle Medical that the technology would be vendor agnostic so that we could use it across all these different platforms of different vintages and it would work. And that's what we found. Since we've deployed SubtleMR, I've been very satisfied with the ability to have many more patients done, happy patients, good patient satisfaction, techs are happy, costs me less. It's great. I'm really excited to be working with Subtle Medical and see what products they're going to bring to Lake Medical Imaging in the future.
My name is Josh Hammond. I'm the CEO and one of the partners of Precision Imaging Centers here in Jacksonville, Florida. Specific challenges to precision imaging over the years have been reimbursement challenges, capacity issues that we've had as we grow as a company, accommodating patient timelines, referring physician timelines. We've gone from 1,200 MRIs a month to scanning about 2,000 MRIs a month across the 4 facilities. As we look at our growth plans and being able to add space for additional volume and capacity, it really became a challenge without us actually moving our facility or purchasing new magnets. What we found appealing was that we could maintain quality or increase quality using Subtle and gain those efficiencies that we were looking for. Those efficiencies are going to be key in scanning MR patients. That motion becomes a factor, repeating sequences becomes a factor. Overall, patients don't want to do an MRI because of past experiences of how long they might take is always going to be an issue. So if we can explain to a patient that it's going to be a better experience, a shorter experience, and more comfortable experience in certain positions, then we're able to increase completion rate. Patients are more compliant, and overall, we're going to increase our volume. Our main focus on using SubtlePET was for the patient experience at Precision Imaging. Times with PET imaging are a little bit more lengthy traditionally, and it's difficult for patients to be in a good position to get ideal studies that come out. When they've been at another facility and the times are much longer, and traditionally they're used to a long scan time and the painful positioning and the experience not being very comfortable, it's very helpful for us to explain that the times are going to be significantly decreased and it's going to be a lot more comfortable. It's been a pleasure for Precision Imaging, and we are very excited to see what solutions Subtle will bring to us in the future.
To see the impact of Subtle Medical's efficiency solutions at your center, head over to our website, SubtleMedical.com, to download a case study or request a meeting with our team. For other questions about SubtleMR, SubtlePET, SubtleSynth, or any of our other works in progress, please email sales@SubtleMedical.com. We look forward to hearing from you.